Okay, we're live.
Larry team presents Let's Grow Pulling with Jason Schultz and assorted friends.
Hit the video. Assorted friends.
Assorted friends. Here we are.
Well,
welcome everybody. Monday night after Shipshewana. Jason Kleppe, your 2024 12,000 farm stock Midwest Winter National champion. That's right, make some noise. That's his beautiful tractor, constant aggravation behind me. I've been friends since high school. Ryan Loganbill, the owner of Cold Train Energy Drink, live in the studio. Give it up for Ryan. Welcome to Wisconsin, buddy. Tell us about your
golf clap.
From Missouri today, buddy.
It was a little dicey.
Little dicey.
It was I don't know, about 100 plus cars in the ditch all the way up here.
100 plus cars in the ditch.
We really started getting up Cedar Rapids and then there north. It was pretty bad.
Yeah. So let us know where you're watching from tonight. We got Clint Tucker on tonight with us. We're going to let him kind of recap the Midwest Winter Nationals, another successful, the 20th annual Midwest Winter Nationals. We're going to talk about Zellwood, Florida. That's where I was. Jason could talk about his weekend. It's Let's Grow Pulling. It's kind of whatever happens. But we're excited to have you with us tonight. Please let us know where you're watching from and what the temperature is in your house. I left Orlando, Florida at what time this morning, Douglas?
We were up at 3.
We were up at 3:30 to catch our flight.
Eastern
time. We left from 73 degrees to -3 degrees. And when we landed in Milwaukee, the door to the airplane was frozen, guys. And we're not joking. We actually have video of that. So it's all good.
There is a God.
There is a God.
I'm just glad all the passengers were full of hot air and got her steamed out.
Pretty much.
Well, at least one of them was.
So, Kenzie, are you doing the comments from your phone or from the computer? Okay. So when the guys talk, you can put Mad Heart up there. Just like
Look, everybody, I'm up. Good evening. I'm back from Shipshewana myself. It was cold there, though, Jason. Not quite like Zellwood, but I was only there for the one day, but got to enjoy quite a bit. And it's a great time. Got to see Kenzie and crew. They were selling T-shirts and sweatshirts, but no crew necks yet. So we're working on that.
Oh, we got to get crew necks, do we?
Just for him.
Well, I think
Just for me. I'm the only person who wears them, I guess. They'll be popular in a couple of years, I'm told. Maybe when I'm in the nursing home.
So Brad Holzhauer, one of our sponsors from KawasakiPartsWarehouse.com, loves what's a sweatshirt without a hood? What's it called? A crew neck?
Yeah, crew neck. Yep.
So if you notice, all of our people have microphones now. So the No Practice Podcast guys, they've made us Let's Grow Pulling guys step up a little bit. So for Christmas, Matt, Mike, and Larry all got microphones now. And put Larry on the screen because this is what's kind of fun. Look at this. He's got
I not only got a microphone, but I got a mixer, headphones, a camera, lighting, and it's amazing. And all because I used to say smoke machines suck. Did you sell those shirts this year at Shipshewana?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, Clint Tucker, can you hear us, buddy?
Yes.
Sorry for all of our non-bobblery. But how are you, buddy?
Good. Really good.
Yeah. Well, let's recap Shipshewana. I got Jason Kleppe here, one of your champions of the weekend. He had a good pass there. That 12,000 farm stock. How do you put that together, Jason? You can talk about that. What associations does that kind of focus on?
That comes with the ISP down in Clint's Way there, and our Southwest Pullers, in our direction, Tri-State Pullers, South Central Wisconsin Pullers, and where does Nick come from and Sanford's and the other guys are? Is that part of the Illinois Farm Stock, Clint, or what group do they run with?
Well, Barry and them run a little bit of the stuff in Kentucky, and then they run with the Ileana Group The 12,000 farm stock class went through a huge transition this year. We had some stuff going on in the last 4 or 5 years that just wasn't making a lot of sense. But thanks to Jason and Jeff Suits and everybody kind of involved with the What Smoking group, we made some rule changes that made it more of a farm stock class, and it really worked out. It really worked out great, and there were so many guys in the stands that just, was there watching. Came up to me and was like, "Well, we pull in such and such Indiana, we pull such and such Pennsylvania, we pull in such and such New York," and we were so intimidated because they had been coming and watching the last few years, and it was like our definition of farm stock and yours is completely two different, things. We have all the safety stuff on, we got cages on, but he goes, we're 6 or 7, 800 horse tractors, and there's no way we could run with what we're seeing, and they're not dumb. They can see how many weights in the box whenever Brandon goes down and does a perfect job every pass. But Jason and I took some grief a lot over this, and we took some grief the last 2 years. But Jason's one of my better friends, and we worked through it, and we got a good product now, and I'm proud of him. Happy for him that he won, and I'll promise you, buddy, if I'm still alive next year, you'll be on the sweatshirt, buddy. You earned it.
Now, the Midwest, for those of you who don't know, the Midwest Winter National sweatshirt's kind of a big deal. And that's where last year's winners get on, but not every winner gets on there. So I'm guessing the Kleppe probably gave Tucker a little bit of shit about this there, Mr. Kleppe. Would you?
Yeah.
He did.
I might
Said,
have.
I gotta be on it. I told him I would.
It was actually it was 10 years ago. I won it in the '95 Pro Farm.
Add an item.
And
Delete one.
I told Tucker, I've been fighting for 10 years to get back up onto that spot, and we took some paddlings over the years here in the farm stock. We kept coming back and fighting, but we finally got back there, and with a lot of hard work and everybody working together, we got a good class down there. It was 2 tractors from each association there in the finals, and I mean that said a lot for what we did there with the rules.
Yeah, Jason, I agree with you. And some of the guys that you beat actually came up to me after the class was over and said it couldn't have been any more perfect. And there's a lot of appreciation there, and so that made all the scorn worth the effort. And I'm happy for you, proud of you, buddy. We've been friends for a long, long time, and I'm looking forward to the next year. And hopefully, we get some fresh faces from states that we never seen those guys before. And they come and I'm out in the pit area, like I do, stand around every now and then, watch all the guys work, and put out fires. And guys walking up to me and they introduce themselves, and we shook hands, and they pull their phones out. This is our tractor. We think we might be able to come next year. And I was like, fantastic. That's great. So we did a good thing. I know a few looked down their noses at us and thought we were picking on them, but they can join the fun too. They just gotta make the adjustments. And looking forward to doing it again in 2025.
Clint, with this being your 20th year of the Midwest Winter National, what was your biggest takeaway? I know you always sit down right after the event with your team and kind of start planning next year. What's your biggest takeaway from this year as you guys look into headed into 2025?
The most important thing we talked about in the war room each night was the loyalty of the classes that, because the weather was terrible. It was terrible in a lot of places. But the loyalty of some to get there really, really weighed a lot for us. There were guys that's like, oh, we just can't make it. There's snow. And then they were telling me that on Thursday. I was like, well, here's your buddy just sent me a picture. He's going to make it, literally within an hour of one another. And so, you know, it's that. Also, just the fans, you know, because it snowed. It snowed all day Friday. It snowed pretty much all day Saturday until about showtime on Saturday night. Then the sun came out. Hats off to all the fans. You know, that place was just about as full as last year. Now, we didn't have the big piles at either end of guys standing around enjoying adult beverages, visiting, but the bleachers were still pretty full. So just thank you to everybody who braved the weather, enjoyed the event, and thanks to all the sponsors. Thanks, you know, we had more sponsors this year than ever, and we're like the weakest sponsored event there is for indoor pulling. And thanks to all those guys that stepped up and bought class sponsors for the trophies and everything. Again, and Vanguard Motorsports, you know, we ran every session, every setting was perfect. We never reweighted the sled at all. And that's amazing for Brandon and Donnie and all the guys. It's just, whenever you have perfection like that, it makes us look great. The guys on the track, you know, everybody says, "Oh, that Tucker track's mean." I really didn't do anything. Travis sifted the dirt and laid it down. Him and Richard did that during the week. Then they get it ready. And then JR, Quant, Mark, Charlie D. Kemper, Flea, they're the ones that actually do it. They know what I expect. They don't even ask anymore. I'll go talk to them in between sessions. Like, what do you guys think about doing? You gonna flip it, rip it, dump me more water on it? Oh, I just tell them, I was like, I just want the big end. When we are dealing with light pros and 4-1s, I said I just don't want to get dry. And then it's like, we got it. And then I just walk off and go put out another fire. So those guys do an amazing job. But Travis is the foundation. He puts the dirt in there, and it's perfect. We sloped it a little bit. You know what, guys had some launch. We JR and Justin Morrison, they built this little thing underneath their little 4455 to try to keep the starting line perfect, and it worked. Worked great. So thanks so much for those guys. But you know, it's a 51-week preparation for 3 days, and whenever you obsess about it for 51 weeks, you know, the result was what you've seen this weekend. And thank those guys so much. And tech guys, we had a lot of technical things. You know, me and Larry have talked about these goofy things to keep the compressor, the exhaust wheel inside the housing. Thank God we had no issues with that. A lot of the different opinions, but it looked like it all worked. And going forward, I think we got a good foundation, and talk to the building of representatives, and you know, I think there's a pretty good chance we were back in the same situation we were this weekend in 2025. It looked bleak for a little while, but calmer heads prevailed, and I asked the pullers to keep the pit area clean and nice and neat and organized and no nonsense back there, and they did it, and they were happy because we are in their house. And
you have to be. Yeah, Jamie Qualls commented, "We just got done cleaning everything out the building about 8:30 today, Clint." So they get ready right away for their next event. Donnie Jasper wants to be on the t-shirts, the sweatshirts next year too. Clint, okay, so he's watching.
Yeah, tell Donnie, we'll talk about it. And, he has a world record for cups in a stack. I've never seen that many in my life.
Who had the picture of the cups, of the beer cups from Thunderstruck team? Put that up on the screen. They spent thousands of dollars on beer. Thousands. Every round was what, $255? I think. Does anybody know? Let me see that Facebook post. So.
We should measure it. I think they're about the length of a smoke tube.
That's awesome. Again, if you're just joining us, every Monday night we do Let's Grow Pulling. Larry Richwine, Matt Hart, Mike Idle. In his studio, I got Jason Kleppe, from Richland Center, Wisconsin, with me. He also won the 12,000 farm stock down there. There's a picture of the guys. And then Ryan Loganbill, the owner of Coltrane Energy Drink. We're meeting with some distributors tomorrow in Wisconsin, then Iowa on Wednesday. So I asked him to come in tonight. Please, if you haven't tried Coltrane Energy yet, please go to Coltrane.com or ColtraneEnergy.com. It's free shipping. They'll send you product. If you're already buying Monsters and all that other stuff, all of his competitors, give this a try. Trust me. And then the fact that that some of their money's going back into the sport that we all love, the greatest motorsport in the world, we'd really appreciate that. We'll talk to Ryan here in a little bit. Right now, we're talking to Clint Tucker, promoter of the Midwest Winter Nationals, one of the funnest events of the year. Absolutely. And like Charles Posch calls it the Super Bowl of single charger, Jason. What does it mean for you, Jason, to have an event like this? Because, I mean, you always joke around, well, I just got a pedal tractor or whatever. No, you don't. You have a beautiful tractor. They run hard. But this is your championship. This is your Louisville. What's it mean to have an event like this for you guys to go to?
Well, it's our Louisville. It's not an invitational thing, but it's
kind of is.
It is.
I mean,
we got a chance to go, and we don't get to ever pull against these guys from Indiana, Kentucky, and it's just it's an awesome deal, and to see where you stack up against different guys that you never get to see, it's a great deal.
To the bottom left. So he's behind
and you meet so many people that you never would meet otherwise, and they're all really true friends now that we talk on the phone, we text back and forth throughout the year, and I look forward to it every year, just to go, and
how many people pulled in your class? How many guys did you have to beat out to win this honor? You're being so humble. I want to hear about the big championship side of things.
We had 14 in there this year. I think last year we were up around 20. I think there was guys we were down on numbers this year quite solely because the rules changed and they really didn't know what was going to happen,
but their distances were all tight. Nobody got spanked.
And that's the thing that really changed with what they did with the rule change. We didn't have last year. I mean, and I hate to say it this way, we were fighting for third or fourth. We had a group of us that we were fighting for third or fourth. And I'm not wrong saying that, am I, Clint?
No, and Jason, I will tell you this. The Friday night before we came up to ship, Andy Boer, the new ITPA president, and I, he invited me to go to a meeting here locally, and we have a class starting in ITPA for 2024, a farm stock class that pretty much those guys can participate in Midwest Winter Nationals now. We're going to have that going on ITPA, and there'll be some new, fresh faces and some guys that are pretty serious about it. So I'm really excited. I think we'll have to add a few things to come up there next year, but yeah, you got to start somewhere, and so it's catching on. What we're doing is catching on, and I'm excited. Really excited for the group because they are farm stocks. This is not a 1,200 to 1,500 horsepower class. It's for guys that want to have a nice starter class and a little heavier weight. You don't have to strip the tractors all down. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the future. I think we're going the right direction.
Yeah, and then it's not just my class and people. There's a lot of pullers that look at what Clint does and says it's the show to go to for us, and
Yeah, absolutely.
your hot farms and all that, because you look at the hot farm, would you have 70 some pullers in that group? You had to break it down into four.
Yeah, we were expecting close to 80, and we were sitting in the war room, and I count off 12 tractors that had intentions to be there. Just couldn't quite get their motor combination, dyno, broke this, broke that. Yeah, I would expect next year having 80 of them pre-registered by October 1st.
Larry, as our resident historian, old guy, there was a time where there was just Louisville and Indy, right, for the big indoor pulls. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, Indy Super Pull and Louisville National Farm Machinery Show. That was it. Other than that, nobody thought about or heard about or tried to do indoors.
Dude, Larry, that microphone, it either makes you sound good, and that's hard to do. So
Jason, I can't tell you what that means to me because it is a family show. I mean, of all the people that I'd say some of those 7 words that George Carlin said you can't say on television, which I know all 7 of them, and I won't recite them because part of them are offensive, and the restraining order is still in place where I currently am. Anyway, Jason, all I can say is only through your dollars did this become part of my thing. Now, next week, I'll be in transit, not transit to FLA. Me and the camper and Jason Brammer are headed down there. And so whether I get on next Monday night or not might be up to how good my mobile signal is. But
I understand.
The following Monday, I will be coming to you probably from some wooded area right outside Daytona on a hog hunt. But that's okay. We can do that.
Bring Bramer on with you. That would be entertaining.
Well, you know what? We will be together. No homo. We will be together for the next 12 days after next Monday night. Yeah.
Oh boy. All right.
Ryan, how do I get a complimentary, sponsored, if you will, Coltrane energy drinks so I could take with me to Florida, even though it's not, the second event on February 2nd and 3rd, Matt and I could say, hey, we're drinking Coltrane energy drinks. Wow, are we awake? I mean, there's things we can do. I mean, I met Ryan up at Hillsboro, and he probably didn't appreciate it. I took a sip of it and acted like it was affecting me, but it really wasn't. It only took me a week to 10 days to go to sleep. It's good.
I know a guy who could probably get you some free.
Okay, well, Jason has my address because obviously it only took him like 6 weeks to ship this thing to me. Everybody else had them for a month.
We can be a little faster in 6 weeks.
Well, good, because I do like diesel number 2, whatever it is, and the one that's sugar free. Yeah.
No, Larry, I'll bring some down to Florida with me, but I got you covered. So.
Well, yeah, but you're not going to be at Ocala. I got 2 weeks to do. You're only going to do 1.
Oh, I might surprise you, Larry. I might surprise you. So.
Oh God, I hope not. I mean, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, times 2. You're going to see me 2 weeks in a row, though, Kitty. You're going to see Doug and Larry, or Doug and Jason 2 weeks in a row, buddy.
Well, I like the way Doug snuck in behind Ryan earlier, down below the counter that he built. I'm glad. I like the way he did that, and nobody's supposed to see him. And I'm going.
I thought that was a dog at first, Larry. I thought one of your dogs had got sent up to Wisconsin and was back there wagging tail until I saw the eyeballs poking up. I was like, I
have a Coltrane black German Shepherd sitting in my chair over here. Her name is Maze, and she really wants to go to Florida, but I don't know where to put her when I go hog hunting for a day and a half. I don't know. Jason and I go hog hunting in the Florida woodland area, so I don't know what to do with her, but she's wanting to go real bad.
Hey, Tucker, before this gets out of control, anything else you want to talk about tonight?
Well, I was going to tell Ryan with Coltrane there that our hook guy, Tillman, was pretty much powered by him all weekend because I've seen his cooler there, and there was Coltrane's in it. And so our hook guy, Tillman Temple, was fired up with Coltrane energy. So I almost reached out to him, but I didn't know how the building owners would have been with they kind of control the food and beer sales there. I didn't know how they would react to him because he and I have experienced some problems with some of the events we do in Missouri about beverages being sold without a Pepsi or Coke logo on there, which kind of frustrates me. But anyway, tell Ryan that thank you for selling the product to Tillman, and Tillman hooked every tractor up correctly. We didn't have one hook in the bottom and one hook in the top wrong. I mean, Tillman's a good boy. He's one of the best assets we've ever had, and he was pretty much fueled by Coltrane all weekend.
I like that, Tillman.
That's good to hear.
That's a good job, Tillman. Ryan's going to be with us at Louisville. What's our booth number? 3194. So we're in the West Hall. We're with our merchandise booth. We might have a surprise tractor in the booth with us as well. We're going to let that out of the bag here in a couple of weeks. But Coltrane will be there with us. For those of you we got Coltrane Energy, Coltrane.com. It both goes to their website. It's free shipping. Ryan's up for a couple of days. We're going to go talk to some distributors some friends of mine and people that we all know, and just try to help get into Wisconsin and all that stuff. So, Larry, what are your hand signals for there, buddy?
Well, when I get me a Coltrane in my hand, I'll be sure to always drink one on camera.
That'd be great. That would be great.
Michael started us off today. Did a good job with that.
This is only because thanks for this terrible Missouri weather. This is 2 Tuesdays in a row. This is 2 Monday nights in a row. I've been able to come on knowing I don't have to get up and go to work tomorrow morning. So I'm going to be sharp, clean, focused as late as I want to be tonight. I do not have to wake up early tomorrow because of our terrible weather we have here.
No school tomorrow?
No school. We've gone to school like one day in January, I think. I don't remember where the building's located. I'm going to have to GPS it when we go back.
Yeah, what town do you live in again, Michael, in Missouri?
Bevier, just outside of Macon, Missouri.
Okay.
I actually, yeah, so we'll just transition this. I walked into our local market the other day and just getting a loaf of bread or something, and there was Coltrane just sitting there in the cooler. I was like, no way. That's the official energy drink of the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling, and they do a lot of all motorsports. And I know it's a Missouri-based company, but I didn't know that they'd gone public with it like that. So I was like, I'm going to buy 4, and every time I go in there now, we grab one. So that's pretty cool.
Also the official drink of the Pro Pulling League.
Yeah, there you go.
What store is it in all the time?
We don't have it doesn't seem to be available in my town, just west side of Indianapolis. But there is a lot of Colt malt liquor in our area, but not
Colt.
Colt malt liquor.
I think that's Colt 45.
yeah, it's whatever it is.
Yeah.
All I know is
There's a song
it comes in
about
a 40. They drink a 40 ounce. Yeah.
What did
Except you don't-
AJ
you
Vargo
don't
say?
have to
How many
wrap the-
kids?
14.
You
14
don't have to wrap
kids?
up the Coltrane in a brown paper bag.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, like the malt liquor. Tucker, what was the most popular beer? What was the beer that they were selling down there this year?
Oh, I don't know. I think they were all
There was
popular.
only one.
Well, 14 kegs alone on Thursday. How many of those
I-
did Jaspers drink?
That's what was out there.
Half.
I'm not
Yes.
I'm not privy to that information like I was at Gordyville, but it looked like everybody was well hydrated.
They're dehydrated.
Hydrated. Yes.
Clint used to tell me that they drank more beer in Gordyville than they did in 4 days than they did at the Illinois State Fair in 10 days, right, Clint?
Yeah, back when we were rolling pretty hard there in 2009 to 13, I had a pretty good relationship with the distributors that were bringing stuff in there, and yeah, there was a couple years that the Midwest International sold more beer to our fans than they did at the Illinois State Fair in their beer tents for 10 days.
Can you buy them per cart? Is that something I've seen on pictures? Can you buy a rolly cart of beer?
The guys that do the toolboxes and donate the toolboxes, the greatest guys on earth, they built a rolling rack that will hold beer.
And
there's
is that
several
like a mobile beer sales? You're supposed to buy one at a time kind of deal?
No, we don't have that there. Because you got to remember, it's a Republican state. They can buy as many as the rack holds.
Okay, so
And,
you can buy the rack. You can say like, I want a rack of beer, and they'll bring you and your buddies a rack of beer.
I don't know how many beers that the toolbox guys built that thing holds, but
60
I
cups,
looked at
Tucker.
it
60.
several times, and there were multiple cups all over it. And they were pretty active there on Thursday and Friday and Saturday. They're pretty active. And they brought it there, and I don't think it. Kleppe, was it still available for sale on Thursday, or did an outfit buy it? They built it.
They said it
And
sold for
it was sold Thursday or Friday morning early.
Yeah, Chuck said $1,000. They sold it.
It was in that one booth up there by just up from Bausma's, and I'm not no.
Was that Jaspers?
It might have been.
The mini rod jacket?
Jasper's on the east side. They actually physically have to. They have their little 6 or 12 pack little handles. They go over and get them, and they mule them back. So those boys had to walk back and forth for all those cups. So proud.
Yeah, this was just up by the announcement stand.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
all the toolboxes Jeff and Stacy sell at Store Lock, I think that one was probably the most popular this weekend.
Yeah, they sold that there.
Oh, I thought your like sales. I thought this is how they sold beer at first. I thought like your beer people went around with the rack. You as a customer buy the rack and then just say, "Load me up with beer."
Correct.
Yeah, that was built by the Store Lock guys, and then they sold it, and the guys used it the rest of the weekend. That's personal usage they use that for.
It was
That
a
is
great
awesome.
idea. Them toolbox guys got pretty smart. They said, "Hey, I know what we're going to market here this weekend," and it got some use. It was nice.
They've been really
Well,
good to
those
the
guys-
event. Yeah, they're great.
Those guys donated a toolbox, and we raffled it off Saturday night. And then the guy that raffled, who bought it, he's like, you know what? It didn't bring what it should. So he put it back in, and then Flea got out and did his flea things and sold it for $2,000 more to the Elsing group than what the initial buyer bought it for. So that all was perfect. That worked out great.
Chuck says wasn't a good thing to be in line behind them. So that's awesome. AJ Fargo said it sold Friday afternoon. I want to make sure I got all my Tucker comments. Clint, thank you for doing this. I mean, I know you have a great team and you have great friends to help with all this, but it takes a leader like you to put this together and a big indoor event like this. And the way you mix so many classes together from different regions, because unfortunately every state's got every different little rule they can. Larry understands that as well. Dallas / Schmidt, Jaspers are beer drinking fools. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jason. The thing I was the most worried about was one of the outlaw guys finally came out and pulled with us and in Super Farm. And I was nervous how this was going to work. And, it worked. To have a guy won it with a 3x3 with an air cooler, and the outlaw guy in second, and the NTPA guy in third. That was perfect. And now, of course, NTPA I need to tweak it a little bit, and that was great. Because the outlaw guys run a little bit bigger turbo and smoothbore, no ice and everything. And I think Jared so much for coming out, and he actually jumped into the mod turbo class, and he wasn't even there. He showed up and he said, "Hey, openings tonight?" I said, "Sure." So we sat there and we visited a little bit. I never met the guy, super nice guy, and we decided on a weight to run him down the track, and that worked too. So didn't make the mod turbo guys mad at all. Didn't make super farm guys mad at all, and I mean, that's the kind of stuff we kind of changed on the fly. It worked, and really happy. Now, that makes the Outlaw Super Farm guys kind of a home if they want to pull indoors, because they go to Louisville, they got to change everything, the whole setup. Now they can just come the way they are in the summer, and they can compete in the mod turbo / Super Farm class, and they can compete in the real Super Farm class. So really happy for Jared, and really happy he came. And I can't thank him enough.
No, that'll help. That'll help because once somebody tries it, Clint, and they see that he did okay, then it'll get better for everybody. You know how it goes. So.
Well, we've been talking about it for 2 years. Just wasn't brave enough to try it, and Jared entered, and he came, and he did it, and I'm just happy. I'm happy for the whole deal, because it's for all organizations. It's just not one. It's for all, and it worked. So.
Because how did they? Fritz's and then Anderson's were they second?
Anderson's were third, and Fritz's won it. He was second. The outlaw guy was second, and then checking out was third. So you had representative, pretty top-notch guys in all three groups.
Yeah, there's another example: 3 different associations and 3 different sets of rules too.
Exactly, and completely different, polar opposites, going different directions, but it worked out.
And fans eat that up. Fans love when they can watch, well, what's my organization guy do next to your organization guy? What's my state level guy do next to your state level or national level guy? So when you can create a platform where they can compete across the way, and especially if they finish 1, 2, 3 like that, that's fans eat that up. That's huge for the world of pulling. And if pullers are able to do that, and then you guys as promoters are able to find a place to let that happen, that's kind of the dream right there.
For sure. And that's something for Jason with his TPC event. He's never really, had to, we talked about it last year. He goes, I'm just going to go off your rules, your indoor stuff with intercoolers and non-intercoolers. Well, now he can actually potentially get the Outlaw guys involved with their super farms as well. We probably need to tweak it just a little bit more, but we're on the right track. We're going the right direction.
Yeah, we consult like with Clint for like the super farms and the mods, and we kind of follow. I call it the Tucker rules or the Farm Machinery Show rules, where the super farms at to come to TPC May 17th and 18th in Nashville, Illinois. Intercooler guys weigh 200 pounds less. They weigh 9,300, and a non-intercooler super farm weighs 95. Question, Terry Benson, Tucker, how did the light limit super stock diesel guys get along with your turbo rule?
Perfect. I didn't hear any squabbling out of any of them. We had quite a diversity in towns. The smoothbore turbos were right there. The little Massey Ferguson that Cody had just bought, he ended up sweeping the weekend, and I think he made his way on the shirt. But I think everything worked out really well. Unfortunately, my friends from Missouri didn't have a very good weekend with their 410 intercooled tractors with a little bit heavier weight, but I know they'll be back. We need more of those guys from Badger State and ECI quit being scared and just come down and try it. The big motor guys sound mean, and they're aggressive, but I still think guys like Wittenbach and Hawthorne, those guys, if they would come down and try it, we keep tweaking it till the Badger State, ECI, and guys would be competitive because everybody's up for a suggestion. I know those guys got a little smaller motors and stuff, but we had a good event. We had a really good event. Alcohol tractors right there, real close, and one guy was on rails this weekend and he won. But I kind of know who dynos him, and kind of those guys take it pretty serious. So yeah, it was good light limited class.
Matt, what day did you go to the Midwest Winter Nationals?
I was in Friday for the second session. I was able to zip over during the snowstorm and get inside where it was nice and warm and enjoy the show. It was a lot of fun. I missed Jason and all of them, which stinks because I know a lot of those guys in that class. I see Jake Cook actually commented earlier, and he said, the nice thing is on the class with the farm stock is you had 2 from Indiana, 2 from Wisconsin, and 2 from the ISP competing. And that talks about it. That's all in the finals. So that was fun. Got to see some mini rods and, of course, the limited pros. And really, it's more fun to get over there and see some people you don't get to see all the time. Like Dale Rozier, I got to sit and visit with him. And it's always great to talk to him because I'm new to the sport and Dale is definitely not. And I get to get a little history lesson and just have some laughs with somebody that's been around it for twice as long as I've been alive. So that's kind of fun, too.
I like it. Hey, it's Monday night. We do the show every Monday night. It's called Let's Go Pulling. Your host, Larry Richwine, Mike Idle, Matt Hart. I'm sitting in studio with Ryan Loganbill, the owner of Coltrane Energy Drink. Big supporter of trucker and tractor pulling. If you're an any energy drinker, please go to Coltrane.com or ColtraneEnergy.com. Place an order. It's free shipping. Jason Kleppe, friend of ours, lives in Richland Center here, and he also was your 12,000 farm stock Midwest Winter National Champion, as well as Clint Tucker's on the show with us tonight as well. Larry, I saw a squirrel a little bit ago and I jumped around, but I said there used to be a time that was just in the Indy Super Pull in Louisville. And I think was Clint were the first one to kind of put on more of a, I'm gonna say a regional indoor pull, Larry. But like, what's the history of indoor pulling from your world?
From my world, of course, it was the Indy Super Pull all my life. I said it as a sophomore in high school. I sat in the stands at the very first Indy Super Pull, 12 miles from the house. And I told my buddies I went with, I'm going to do that someday. And in 1979 was the first time I qualified for Indy with my 5 mod, and I sent them all tickets. And I said, you know, you didn't think, you laughed at me, but come watch me do it. And through the progression, I was actually managing the last 3 Indy Super Pulls they had. I don't know who the guy was when the smoke machine broke with 2 pro stocks yet to go. But anyway, he said, he said, open the doors, let's run the damn things. And I caught hell later, but the smoke was about 3 feet off the ground. Anyway, I do believe that Clint was the first one to do one other than the 2 big ones. And is that true, Clint? I think it is.
Well, Larry, my motivation was I used to work with Photo Joe and Carol,
Right.
and they did the Eaton DeKalb Super Bowl.
Okay. All right.
And whenever that thing got where it was in Columbus, I videoed there. Of course, that's Super Farm Tractor. So
Sure.
there was one year, I think maybe the last year it was there. We had your friend Harry Bledsoe,
My
John
friend,
Coos,
yes.
Larry Wolf. They came and competed there. And I'm gonna say 2003 or 4, you know, somewhere around in there. And then they had a barrage of classes they pulled in there, and then that kind of gave me the motivation to start something of my own. And but yeah, the Cal Super Bowl guys, they were the guys that motivated us to do this.
Okay.
Absolutely. And
Didn't you do the first? Didn't you do the first one at Cloverdale?
Unfortunately, yeah, that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a nightmare and disaster.
Well, they were only parking semis on the exit ramp of I-70 to get there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. John Moomaw and myself and Jim Wilbur went down there and walked the facility over, and they said, "Yep, we're going to get this parking lot just east of the building done for you, and this building exchange there every 7 minutes." So we got brave enough. We only had 1 truck. We had 2, one with diesel, one with alcohol, and that did not work out at all. And the only good thing, nobody died, and
That's good.
You know, I was back in the back on Saturday night, and the Holman boys, full drive truck, very classy guys.
Yep.
I was going around apologizing for the fumes and all the craziness, and the Holman boys goes, "Hey," patted me on the back and said, "You tried it?" He goes, "Who on earth would try to put Bowling Green inside of a cattle barn?"
That's exactly right. You're correct.
Yeah, we tried.
That's a T-shirt, Tucker. That's a T-shirt.
Yeah, and I've always had the utmost respect for the Holman boys after that. They are class acts.
They certainly are class acts. You're correct. Yeah.
So, Mike, you were sitting at home trying to find electricity because you live in Missouri. Things are a little slow.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan. I didn't mean to pick on Missouri.
The water wheel, is that what it's called? It froze up. Normally, you know, our water wheel or whatever that brings us our electricity, it froze. So yeah, you know.
Harbor Freight's having a sale on generators, so you might pick one up, Michael.
I had the generator fired up, but it needs a little carb work on it, and I'm a little more accustomed to fuel injected things. So it was burning a gallon every 15 minutes. So we decided to pull the plug on that.
Let's Go Pull tonight, brought to you by Cold Train Energy and Bush Lattes. Jason, how many Bush Lattes did you have this weekend, buddy? Oh boy. Did you get it done? As I like to say,
I think we got it done pretty good, don't you think, Clint?
Yeah, he drank so many on Thursday and Friday that he was drinking water, and I seen him in his box seat.
Yeah, we put it this way. I hauled Josh Dutton down, and there were, of course, you know, when they quit selling it during the poll, we have to take care of everything ourselves there back in the pits, and you won't find it in Shipshewana. We've learned hard in the early years when we go down there that when you run out of beer, you're pretty much screwed.
Tri-County, yeah. Tri-County.
Really?
Yeah, you got to go to Middlebury to find it. And after you're out, it's probably not a good idea to start trying to navigate yourself to Middlebury where you don't know where you're at. And
those Amish buggies don't have.
There's a really nice party house in Middlebury. This year, we always kind of have our victory party on Saturday night in the war room, and I always send one of the girls out to get it. And it was told to me that they were tired of doing that. So Jake, my cousin, and I, on our adventures up there on Tuesday, we went to the Middlebury Party House. They were nice enough. They let us borrow a cart, and we bought all of it. And they looked at our sweatshirts and it's like, "Are you guys here for the tractor pull?" And I said, "We're actually here putting on the tractor pull." And they're like, "Why are you buying all this beer?" I was like, "This is our victory party beer we'll have in the pickup truck for the guys on Saturday night." And it was a little bit solid in the war room, but everybody warmed them up and enjoyed themselves. And we had a good time.
So, Mike, sitting at home, watching all this go on social media, how fun is that? And then, did you see the new live results that Brent Yarn and Zolik put together on the LetsGame.net website?
I've been so far behind on everything because truly, honestly, we didn't get back on our house till about midway through this entire show, between losing power and then getting everything brought back up to heat. It was like 37 degrees when we got in our house. So we were house jumping for most of this past week. But what I did get to see, it's a fun weekend. I like it when there's multiple things going on in the world of pulling, and I like it when social media is making that available to everybody because there's so many. It's really neat. We're in a world now where you can feel like you know what's happening just by staying logged on and paying attention to what's going on. So seeing some of the more interesting mechanical things that took place in Shipshewana, and then looking at the no small feat of basically putting 2 sessions worth of pulling into one yesterday in Florida, that was fun to keep up with all the way along where we could. So we kind of pieced it together as best we could.
You mean like somebody taking a motor out of one Light Pro and putting another Light Pro between sessions so they can
that would be exactly what I'm alluding to right there.
Larry, when I first saw that picture, Mackenzie or Charles had posted it, and Mackenzie had got some pictures and video of it. Well, and I saw it on our Facebook page. Larry, I thought of Mike Connie's. Was that Sandwich, Illinois? They switched motors to win the Grand National Points Championships a few years ago.
Yes, it was. Mike's always got a spare engine complete.
Yep.
Turbocharger, injection pump. It's like bolt out, bolt in. And between sessions, between a noon session and a 6:30 p.m. session, they put another motor in that tractor, and he came back with authority. So yeah, it's. In that case, it's cubic dollars and availability, but at the same time, yeah, it's been done. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what led to one of the questions I asked this weekend was, what's your biggest "we gotta fix it now" story? And I was flipping through some of the comments on the Beer Money Pulling Facebook page on there. There's some fun stories. Jordan Lustick was talking about swapping heads out or something in the back of a moving trailer one time. Tyler and Bruce Slaw's name just came up repeatedly on the "we broke it and we have to fix it before the next session." The Slaw family, and then the Ulmer family also said that they'd pulled some magical miracles in between sessions. That's fun stuff to look into. The biggest, hey, we're gonna pull again in 4 hours. How do we fix it now? that always leads to some neat stuff.
Yeah.
Kenzie, put Colin Burkholtz's comment on the screen, please. Kenzie's our producer, putting off to the side. Zolik did a live stream without one complaint on pull-off. I feel like that's sort of an accomplishment. Way to go, Zolik. Yeah, he is so good at live stream. Tucker always liked it when I announced at the Shipshewana because he said because all the bad comments came at me and not at Brent. In those earlier years.
Exactly. I hate to mention it, Jason, but I've noticed you get a lot of bad comments. They just tell me that I'm vulgar and crude, but when it comes to bad comments, I think you top me.
I live my life with any publicity is good publicity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then I should get a hell of a lot of it then.
Yeah. Tucker,
Larry, you're behind times.
Oh well, I guess I'm the elder on the screen here, so yeah.
My fault. It's not even close, Larry. Like, you don't look around the screen and go, "I wonder who's as old as Larry." Nobody. It's like Grandpa Larry.
Well, Jason, I'm really glad you mentioned our live results. Brent Aaron did all that, and I was so happy with that. And Larry, I think you and I both, with the group we work with, probably could utilize that a lot in the
Boy.
summer, and that is not proprietary to anybody other than Brent Yaron. And I've already told him, I was like, you will be getting a phone call from our bosses because that was
That's what he.
spot
And that's
on
what he
and
used for the
perfect.
Pullers Championship. It's just awesome. Does a great job with it. So.
Live results are
That
huge in
works.
pulling.
I have a
My
question.
dad
That
My
works.
dad was sitting in my sister's wedding. His daughter was getting married, and Dad was sitting in the Catholic church flipping through his phone. And I leaned over. I was like, Dad, what are you doing? He goes, well, it's not my fault that your sister got married on the same day as Toma. He goes, I'm checking live results. So, yeah, people eat that up.
Mark Ulmer says Mark Ulmer pulled at Kansas City at American Royal Building in the late 70s.
I had heard rumors of the Kansas City pull, but I didn't know anything about it, so I couldn't bring it up. But I feel like I've heard people talk about that before.
I feel like Roberts did something Kemper when he owned the Outlaws, probably late 07, maybe early like 210. Tucker, do you remember that, Kemper?
Yeah, Doug ran
Yeah, Western Farm Show.
Camper. The Western
Yeah.
Farm went on a little short
Yeah.
trip. He did that for a few years, and he had nothing but weather struggles all the time, and nothing.
There was a
they had
blizzard the
nothing
one
but-
year. They got 16 inches of snow down in Kansas City. It was crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
nothing
several-
was easy for him. Nothing was
several
easy.
of them
There was-
tried it. I mean,
The
there was
Astrodome. Didn't they used to pull in the Astrodome with like USHRA?
yes, they
Oh,
did.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I've pulled in the Silver Dome before.
Oh, sure.
I pulled in Cincinnati Gardens where the track was like 127 feet long with 20 foot of shutdown. And yeah, I mean, several people tried it, but as far as to start it and stay consistent with it, other than Indy Super Pull in Louisville, I would give Clint the credit.
Where did Art Arfons dig through the soil and get down to the tile? And he stripped tile out of the base flooring and shot it up into the ceiling.
No, there's a lot of places he did
I
that.
don't know.
That's
There's, back in the late '80s, early '90s, when they literally had 40 SRO and
Right.
Pro Shows and TNT. They had, you get the old Power Tracks magazines. Billy Joe had an indoor pole at every hockey arena he could get into.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times they had. I mean, Mike Witt has told me stories about having a pole in like Salisbury, Maryland, and Philadelphia at the same time, and they built the tracks in both places the same weekend.
Right.
What they used to do back in the day is amazing with the the mods, the 4-wheelers, 2-wheelers, monster trucks is
Mhm.
crazy compared to what we used to do. But it all died, whenever monster trucks said they didn't need us anymore, and we needed them a lot more than they needed us.
Kenzie, can you go up comments a little bit? Scroll up. Yeah. Okay. So no, there was one. Chris Baker had something about changing something they did something in Gordyville. Who was that? Was that Zerby? Vern Zerby?
Vern Zerby did.
They
Burnt pistons. They
yeah.
took pistons out of one tractor. What they do, Tucker? They had it back in the back corner, right by the
Well,
door.
Poor Vern wasn't even there. Jason brought some of these tractors out with their Fords, and he made the finals with one tractor, and he threw the rods out the bottom of the block right at
That's
the
what-
pile.
This is good.
And then they pulled the second one, and it didn't make the finals, so they
If we could rotate.
and them poor guys got parked right by the hurricane door.
We could do that.
And they took the motor apart out of one and put the parts in the other one to make the finals. That was Jason Forrester did that.
I remember
And
that.
that was I felt terrible for him, but they's like, oh, don't worry about it. We're used to this every day. This is just another day. That was Jason Forrester did that.
Yep. Rusty Oak says we changed the lift pump on a Rexine hot farm tractor during the Friday night flight. He was second hook and it came apart on the line and got changed and made the Saturday finals. That's awesome.
There you go. Effort.
Chris Baker, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania had pulls in the farm show building in the 70s. That's the Western Farm Show that you're talking about, Ryan, right?
I don't. It would've
Yeah,
been-
no, that would've been
Kansas
Arena.
City.
that's Kansas City.
That would have been the same time frame, I think, doing those. Weren't they pulling Denver, Richwine, Omer?
I don't know. Ask Homer.
Denver was back in the if you look at the old '78 Polar magazines, you'll see Denver, and I was great friends with Jim, Mike Gum, John Klug, Dickie Sullivan, those guys. They said that was quite an experience. From what I understand, the pit area was on one side of the interstate, and the arena they pulled in was on the other side.
What?
So you can about imagine that whole deal. And they said that it always snowed. It was always a blizzard, but it was kind of on a 3-week venture. And this is back before enclosed trailers. They hauled them out there in the snow. They fought the snow. They pulled at Denver. Then I think they went to San Antonio, and then they went to Houston to the Astrodome. It was, you talk to these guys. There's not very many of them left around. But Jim Gunn was old enough just to go. He wasn't old enough to drive. His brother was just 16. He was 14. And Klug took him with him and did all that. I mean, it's amazing. You talk to some of the McKinnons that are still alive, they'll tell you the same stories. In McQueen's, indoor pulling was wild back in the '70s.
Chris Wiggle said, I went to a bunch of pulls in the old American Royal building. You had to sit up high by the windows and stick your head out between tractors. That's awesome. Oh,
Yeah, that's accurate.
that's very accurate.
Yeah, I've always said you don't need alcohol at Louisville if you sit in the very top seat when the methanol tractors are going down the track. You'll catch a buzz off the fumes.
One Clint let the light supers pull and tool when I was announcing. When Chiswick or whoever was driving Chiswick's tractors and they spun out in front of me, oh my God, your eyes just water. Larry, you know that from you had to run light supers in Shipshewana, I think, with the NTPA, right? Larry.
Oh no.
Yeah, Travis told me they did that for a few
Larry, we
years.
can't hear you, buddy. Larry, we can't hear you. We gave Larry technology, guys, but he's been good until this point, I promise.
Jason, enough
Yeah,
of the
there you go.
technology crap. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Doctor, what did the Amish say that year down there at Ship when you let the diesel mini rod run down there?
Oh, that was bad.
He wasn't impressed.
No.
They weren't that impressed.
But the guy took it well. He's still my class sponsor, and he's still, how many class sponsors at any kind of event would sit there and help all his friends? Kevin Moore is the greatest guy on earth. He gets all those guys in line. He helps us push them back to the sled. We start them. We run them down the track, and him and his wife are the greatest people ever. And he said that one day he's going to convince Donnie Bungard that he's going to be a little sponsor. He's going to be a little small rack and a small tube coming off that mini rod sled. And when he gets enough diesel mini rods in the world together, he's going to do it. And I believe in him. He will do it.
I want to talk to Ryan a little bit about Coltrane and how it got started and how you got involved in pulling. A great drive up from Missouri. You enjoyed driving through Iowa today? The roads, the snow. Any stories? You don't see a cow or anything?
No, that was last.
That was Hillsboro.
That was when we went to Hillsboro.
The cows, they're free range cows in Wisconsin.
Apparently so.
Ryan's the owner of a Coltrane energy drink. We're going to hit some distributors next couple days, and I asked him to come up tonight so we could be on the show with us. But I love Coltrane. If you drink energy drinks, give them a shot. Coltrane.com, ColtraneEnergy.com, because they support pulling in a big way. With PPL and Outlaws, and a lot of different MSTPA, I think you sponsored as well.
Missouri State Tractor.
And I like talking to Clint about this because it's about every association. The Midwest Winter Nationals just isn't about, it's about everybody. And that's what's fun about Coltrane as well, too. Can you kind of talk about how you got started and where we're going with this thing?
Well, I used to own a trucking company. It was actually called Coltrane Truck Line. We hauled hoppers and cattle pots. We had 4 cattle pots, 12 hoppers, and 4 oversized. We hauled oversized loads as well. They were quad axle flatbeds, and so then I sold that, and then I started a drilling company, and that got pretty big. And then I ended up selling that and started this. And I just wanted something to make something. I'm from a small town in Missouri, and I just wanted to make something that
You really call Missouri God's country?
It is God's country.
I always called it Missouri.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say this is not a debate, Jason. This is just a known and accepted thing. Like
it's the right in the middle of that.
It's on our Wikipedia page.
Yeah. God's country.
Anyway, sorry, Ryan.
No, you're fine. No, I just wanted to make something that the average, the normal blue collar guy could just relate to, drink, and support. And so the name Coltrane kind of goes hand in hand with Chuck and Tractor. I'm a big diesel guy. I got a lot of diesel trucks and a lot of land, so it just kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah. So. Mike, what do you drink? You're drinking the original right now. That's on the screen.
This is all that's made it up to Northeast Missouri at the moment. As a matter of fact, this is the only one I've tried, and the reason is, and this might be a good platform to launch into my campaign here. I'm not an energy drinker kind of guy. I'm a coffee guy through and through. I'll drink several cups of coffee well into the evening. Coffee will make you jittery. It just will. Simple as that. I had a couple of these the other night. Dude, I didn't get jittery. I hadn't drank a lot of energy drinks before. I wasn't jittery. I honestly felt focused. I got to do a lot more work than I typically do. I'm converting very quickly. I'm gonna be moving from coffee to Coltrane.
I feel like Coltrane doesn't have the after effect like other energy drinks do.
That would be kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah, you don't feel like you need to go run a marathon or jump off a cliff. But I'm telling you, like I sat down and I did tractor pull work and I did teaching work.
Hold on, Mike. Larry, have you ever felt like in your life going and running a marathon?
No.
I'm with you, Larry.
No, we tried to make a smoother drink that was easy to drink. That was our goal when we went to do it. And it doesn't have a ton of caffeine. It's not like some of those energy drinks that got like 300 milligrams. This is only 160. So it's not like a super, super high caffeine flavor. Right now we have 4 flavors. We have our original, and then that's just our original flavor. I don't really know. People ask me what it tastes like. I don't really know what it just tastes like. Our flavor. I don't know. And, what does a Coke taste like? It just tastes like a Coke. So it's just what we come up with. And then we have our sugar-free version of the original. That's what this is.
That's my fave. I got 2 cases in my garage.
It's called biodiesel. And then we have a dyed diesel, which is watermelon. And then peach is kerosene. So all kind of themed around different fuel flavors. So that's kind of where we are. We're hoping to come out with some new flavors in the future. We're thinking about doing just a canned water. And we're thinking about either calling that steam or boosted water. One or two.
We got to go boosted.
It's kind of a debate. A lot of people are saying steam because it's Coltrane. So a Coltrane produces steam. Yep. So, and steam is basically water. But then,
Larry, you're sometimes creative. Do you have any ideas?
Water injection.
That's what I was thinking. The injection pump.
Yeah, bad. I've not heard that one yet.
Or cylinder coolant. I mean, they inject water to keep the temps down.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Water injection or. I don't know. There's several things. Yes, I am an idea guy, Jason. Thank
White smoke.
White smoke. Hey, put Tony.
Ryan, all I can recommend is to take your energy drinks and maybe start expanding to maybe just TikTok or Facebook recipes to take your energy drink and add it with adult beverage in a blender. We've experimented here in the garage, and there are some pretty tasty things we can make out of your energy drink. So then you're really excited and you're really happy, and so just putting that out there for you. So
hey, Tucker,
got a lot of uses for that.
Text me some of those recipes, Tucker. I'll try that. So.
Yeah,
maybe Jason and Matt and I can do a TikTok or 2 in Florida with Coltrane, and I'm not TikTok shy, so hey.
I want to see the Larry Richwine TikTok, whether that be your account or just I want to be scrolling through my For You page and come across Larry Richwine on TikTok. I would enjoy that.
Well, they're up there. Most of them are German Shepherd videos. There's a couple silly ones, but yeah.
Oh,
they're up there right
now. Bruce Wilson had his Scania truck, his convertible Scania semi truck, and Larry said, "What in the Alabama hillbilly?" On my TikTok the other day.
All I can say is, I hate low bridges also.
I saw that comment.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's no offense to him, but the exhaust pipe mounted 7 feet behind the cab was appropriate when it had no windshield and no roof.
So Larry, Saturday night he came to the sled in Zellwood, and I was announcing, and all the guys were like, "What is this? What is this?" I'm like, "Boys, let it go down the track. We need to let this go down the track." I said, "Richwine isn't here. It's going to be okay."
Well, he was actually at Ocala last year, and they didn't let him pull because he had no safety equipment, no driveline loops, no nothing. And then so they told him what to put on, and he came to Clay City on Easter Sunday, and they didn't even let him unload it. So there might have been a problem if I'd have been there, or Marvin had been there, or Jonathan had been there. There might have been an issue, but you were in Zellwood, so hey, run it, boys.
He did. He did.
See
The crowd went wild.
Yeah.
The crowd went wild.
The crowd used to go to see Evel Knievel die as well, so that's a
William Lundberg, we're going to get you a Coltrane flag for your Bowling Green, I promise, and we'll get you some product too. So anyway, it's all good. So the Tesla comment. A lot of people have been making fun of me. I made my Tesla video driving in the snow. I'm kind of viral. I want you to know today, when it's this cold out, the batteries do not last as long. I got home, but it wasn't scary. But I had to stop and charge it. I just want to throw it. We gotta be careful.
That's too bad. That's awful. I'm so ashamed. I feel bad for you, Jason. Your batteries didn't last.
It's all good. It's all good.
No, my Impala made it 500 miles, and we're doing just fine. So
nice. No, everybody thinks I'm a Democrat now because I bought a Tesla, and I'm like, no, I just bought it because it drives itself. And it's if you've ever rode.
You had to buy it, and then you had to hire a 5-year-old child to touch a steering wheel every so often so it would continue to drive itself while you took a nap. Some of us know. Some of us know the true story.
It watches you, and it makes sure that you're keeping your eyes on it, but it turns off the auto steer. It's really loud. It's really loud, I promise. Kleppe rides with me a lot, and he knows I look at my phone too much. He feels safer in my Tesla. I'm just telling you.
I rolled it over for once, then, Adam. I don't know if I felt safer.
That's because I floored it. So
you know my golf cart is gasoline for a reason, because I don't have to change or charge the batteries.
The batteries. Right. Oh shoot. What else do we want to talk about tonight, Mike and Matt?
Well, I want to know. So I want to go all the way back to just the wild, shocking thing that was me. I walked into Matt's Market. I'm telling you, this is not Casey's or Walmart. This is Matt's Market in Bevier, Missouri, and there is Coltrane Energy being sold right there in the cooler. So where are we finding this stuff now? Like, because all summer it was, go to our website or find us on Amazon, but it's out there now. So where in Missouri or beyond Missouri is your territory kind of spreading, and where can just the common buyer expect to bump into this stuff by happenstance?
Well, for sure, it's only in Missouri as of right now. I've actually been talking with some distributors in Kansas. I think it's going to be in a lot of, for sure, eastern Kansas before long. I've been talking with some distributors in Iowa, southern Iowa, and I think that's going to materialize into something. But as of right now, it's only for sale in stores in Missouri, and hopefully, maybe with this guy right here, his charming good looks, we'll get it in some places.
Larry, did you hear that? Larry, did you hear that? Charming good luck.
Charming good luck. That's awesome.
I also know that he had a really rough drive through Iowa, so he's probably very tired and a little delusional when he looked at you.
Snowblind's what they call that.
There you go, snowblind. There you go.
Yesterday I was in Dallas, and today I'm in Wisconsin. So it's
were you racing motorcycles? Yeah. So I was watching motocross Sunday in a bar in Florida yesterday. Yeah. Yesterday we watched the Packer game, and all different TVs. And what arena cross was that? And then the kid held up a Coltrane. It was a sugar-free one too. I got all excited.
It was
Topeka, Kansas.
They were racing out there.
Larry, if you were to drive a motorcycle and race arena cross, what class would you be in?
The heavyweight. I'd be in the 500cc 4-stroke heavy-duty shocks, adjusted up all the way. And actually, about 50 years ago, I had a friend that raced motocross, and during some hot practice laps, he said, "You want to try it?" And I went, "Sure, I don't care." And it was awesome until you come down from that big jump. And I was used to jumping small creeks, getting the cows on a Yamaha, and this thing was, oh no! I returned it back to the pit area and said, "Thank you very much. I'm going to go over here and clean my pants out." Yeah.
Austin, send that over to the Coltrane Facebook page, Austin, and make sure you give them a like too while you're over there. So, William, get me the information for that. That's what, seriously, guys.
Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
Ryan needs all of us to help him with distributors. Everybody has a friend or family member or somebody that knows somebody who works at distributor, and that's what it all comes down to.
Yeah.
We got to get Ryan in front of distributors, and that's why he's up here today and tomorrow. Today and tomorrow. Yep,
Yeah.
tomorrow and
We
tomorrow.
partnered with several Budweiser and Miller Coors distributors, basically throughout the Midwest so far. That's who we've mainly been talking to. I'm not saying those are the only people that we will deal with, but Miller Coors and Budweiser distributors are the ones we've been dealing with up to this point.
Because they have the NA side and then the alcohol
Yeah,
side.
they have an NA side, non-alcoholic and alcoholic side. So it kind of works good that we've been getting them.
And Tucker
so
wants
far.
to create kind of like a Truly's kind of.
Schultz.
Go ahead.
You need to get him over here to FM Illinois because Kerner's is here, and there's not one Miller Lite drink in Southern Illinois unless they produce it. That building's big enough; I could put 7 tracks in it and all the haulers. That's in FM Illinois. We need to get him in. We need to get him in front of these people. They're great people. I'm a football backer, and they support us. You know, we got a football field that's good enough for the Green Bay Packers to play on, and they pretty much help us sponsor it. So we need to get him. We need to get him with Kerner's distributing here in FM Illinois.
So I'll connect you and Ryan on a text message, okay, Clint?
Absolutely, we need to get him over here because
That'd be great.
they're good guys, and they control Miller Lite, Coors Light, and a lot of other brands, and they have all the. They got my alma mater, SIU, in Carbondale, Illinois. We were #1 part of school in the nation. I was down there in 1993 and 4. So they're
pretty
good
close,
guys.
I think.
They can sell beer. If they can help him out at all, I would like to help him.
Yep. Mike Clone, that's why Ryan's up here. We're talking some distributors tomorrow. So
Yeah,
well, he needs it.
it's really easy. It's literally it's 3 minutes from my house.
I love it. Matt, it's been fun. I met you for the first time ever at Shipshewana back years ago. We got you on the mic a little bit that day. You have an awesome announcing voice. I love listening to you chat. Your auctioneer skills. Did you help at all with any of the things that Charles and those guys were doing down there at all?
I wasn't able to. I bumped into Charles and he's like, "Hey man, looking forward to working with you tomorrow." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to be on the road. I got to get back to it." They were talking about the store lock stuff. I wanted to be there to help on that. Unfortunately, again, it comes down to there's 52 Saturdays in a year, and it's been tough. But yeah, it's so funny how that happened. And here's another thing. The reason I got out there that first year was because the smoke tube broke and there were some delays. And Rusnik and I were talking about it. It's like, there's no delays. This thing's been so smooth that there's nothing wrong with that. So you know what? I'm okay with that. People came there to see a tractor pulled and not necessarily listen to me. But no, I think the announcing crew, everybody did great. And, anytime you have a smooth pull, it's almost boring. That's not boring. But, no issues and timing is perfect. It was good. So, yeah, that was quite the treat to get in there that year and then be able to help and get Ryan's beard shaved. Hopefully next year, now that I'm ahead of it, I'll get it on the calendar and we'll make that happen again.
Yeah, I don't know when
Well,
Clint
thank you, Matt.
said his
Thank you, Matt,
dates.
for even trying.
Yeah, Big Ryan needs to, and then we can get Charles' head shaved again and make him more wind resistant so he can get faster down the track, But those guys do a great job. It was awesome to sit and listen and just kind of take it all in. A friend of mine said, this is the first pull you've gone to in probably a couple of years where you weren't working in some facet. And it's like, yeah, it kind of reminds you still enjoy this just as a spectator too. So that's it's always cool to make the trip over and see everybody.
No, I like that.
I won't say it right now. The boys that were really working hard for that charity, and whenever they passed the bucket, there was a lady and her friends passing the bucket around, and that was amazing. And that was just our people bought tickets, sitting there watching the show Saturday night. God, those guys to the level they wanted to be at, and that's amazing. That pulling fans have huge hearts, and like we've said several times, everybody in that building has had somebody affected by this disease, and that all happened, because we talked Friday night and they were nervous, and I said, we'll get it, keep at it, we'll get it. I'm always distracted by the nonsense of putting on the tractor pull, but they got it. And I'm so proud of all of them. So proud they did what they did. and we're not done. There's more guys, text me and call me and say, hey, give me a shout. My winnings, I'm gonna put it towards it. So we're gonna get it all figured out how to do that, and hopefully by this time next week we'll have a complete dollar figure, and I'll just text it to Jason and let you guys talk about it.
Yeah, we can celebrate that. That's, I get to do a lot of Calcuttas. That's really how I got into this. I showed up to a tractor pull and they're like, hey, we did an auctioneer. And by the way, this guy's voice is tired or he's got to use the restroom. Would you announce? And like you said, it's the salt of the earth people that are in the fans, the stands. That's what makes pulling so much fun. It's like you get 1,000 people give $5. You got $5,000, and so like you said, you see that, and it's just awesome that, us blue collar folks that still live in the Midwest are still out here strong and alive and well. So, yeah, I'm excited to hear those numbers because like you said, everybody's been affected, by that and will be in one facet. So
Jason knows all the guys that's in, they call it the Jim Liver and Sobach 1. That's our number 1 box seat. Those guys have been there since day one. And, they got $800 in like 5 minutes. Then started challenging other box seat guys that ship, and it didn't take no time. We got it.
Yeah,
and,
so
They do
cool.
a good job. They do kind of not shaming each other, Matt, but they really, it motivates them and like that too.
They do.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
they did it.
that's what it takes.
So Matt, let's talk about Satsuma
Well,
real quick. Oh, sorry, Cliff. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I just thank all the box seat guys for doing that. That was just a nice thing they did.
And the box seats are great. They're always good people in there, and it's fun to mess with all of them as you're walking down through there with the wireless mic. A fella can have a really good time with that group. I always try to go find me a sleeper or two every now and then. They're fun to sneak up on. So, and let's talk about Satsuma. That's going to be live stream on beermoneypulling.tv. We're excited to be down there February 2nd, February 3rd. So 4 NTPA classes now, I've been told. So mini rods, hot farms, multi-engine mods. That'd be region 6, Larry, right?
Yes, correct.
And then 2-wheel drive trucks. And then I know like the 4.1s are coming down. It's not NTPA, but he's having some other classes. Well, I think Galaxies are coming down. Kevin Inglefield, maybe James Geezy. I've heard a bunch of guys going down there. February 2nd, 3rd. And I'm telling you, it's a good track. We were there last year. Mark bought this racetrack down there. It's called Just Add Dirt Motorsports. That's their Facebook page. That's their website. Hey, Don, send me that on Facebook Messenger if you don't mind. Matt, go ahead and talk about Satsuma a little bit.
Yeah, Satsuma. So we're super excited for that. You've been down there the last couple of years with Mark. Mark Kelsey and his family own an excavating company up here in Northern Illinois. So the Just Add Dirt makes sense. Love working with Mark because, as you mentioned, he can build a track better than just about anybody. People from Wisconsin down to Southern Illinois have pulled with us and said, you know what, this is pulls worth coming to. And so he's roped a lot of people into coming down vacationing. You've got Florida pulls, 2 weeks ahead of it, right? You got the weekend before, and then Larry's going to be down there with Bramer and them, and we're going to have some live videos of them chasing hogs. That ought to be something. That's a metaphor or something.
Well,
Larry.
actually,
No.
Jelly Roll is going to make an appearance at Ocala, I've been told, and that's on the 26th and 7th of January. And if we can talk him into it, he's a close personal friend of Jason's. If we can talk him into it, Jelly Roll will make an appearance the 2nd and 3rd at the other event as well. But no, he's a close personal friend of Jason Bramer.
Get him to drink a Coltrane.
Well, if
Get
Gold
Jelly
is there.
Roll to drink a Coltrane at a tractor pull, dude. That's the most American statement I've made all day.
And Jason and I will turn that into a TikTok phenomenon.
Oh,
Yes.
But Jelly
This
Roll promised Jason he would show up because the second night at Ocala is Jason's birthday, so that's why he's going to stop by there. But the first night at the other event is my birthday, so Jelly Roll's promised to make an appearance at both events.
Yep. I can believe that. That'll be a lot of fun too if we all know that story. I think I see Terry Benson, as he mentioned in the light limited super stocks down south. Mark actually owns one of those tractors, and so I don't think it'd be too hard to twist his arm into doing that. He's really wanting to grow this thing, obviously with the NTPA getting involved and really wanting to turn this into a national show. And he's got the drive, the energy, and a whole lot of great people backing it. Again, excited because Larry and I get to see each other in person, at least from a few feet away. And Schulte is going to be there doing some interviews. So the three of us will be live and in action. We might as well get Michael to come down too. I'm sure he'll be out of power, out of school or something like that. So
I'm saving Mike for Louisville. You guys can't have him until I get to
We'll write a note for Michael to school. We'll say, please excuse Michael. He doesn't have time to teach.
I had a big discussion the other day. I had a big discussion with my boss the other day, and we had an agreement. We drew the common lines between how much tractor pulling I'm going to be able to do and how much teaching I'm still, on contract and hired to be doing. Oh, and by the way, maybe quit posting during school hours so much about tractor pulling. That was the only concern. He says, I'm going to let you start going to more pulls. He goes, but 10:30 in the morning, maybe don't be promoting tractor pulling while you're on hired time. Okay. I'll make another profile.
You could schedule posts. I'm sure Jason could teach you how to do that. They can
tell them you have a publicist doing it for you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This has been I think our best show ever because you guys sound so good on those new microphones. I'm so proud of those new microphones I bought you guys.
It's really too bad you can't do something about our faces. The voices are there. It's just the rest of us that's got to come on.
Matt, I bought a new camera because I was like, if we're going here, let's go here. And then I was like, but wait a minute, is this actually improving the show? I was like, oh man, because I used to be 780p, now I'm 2000p or whatever. And I looked at it and I was like, this might. I don't know if that helped the show so much. So
you had to buy your own camera. Hell, Jason sent me one.
Larry, you're on Social Security, fixed income. These other guys have to
yeah.
So.
Wow, goddamn, God found it. You see that mountain over there? Someday I'm going to climb that mountain.
The faces.
I know he take a pay cut. He works for PPL now.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Well, he works for Buc-ee's tonight. He's got the Buc-ee's hat on.
I'm contract labor for PPL, yes.
I thought John was going to get you a bigger sticker, Rich Wine.
Yeah, I'm going to pick that up. Not that I'm going to stop on the way to the NTPA 2 events in Florida, but I'm going to stop at the Sellersburg office of Pro Pulling League, and I'm supposedly I'll pick up a flag and maybe some larger stickers. But, hey, I'm contract labor, so I'm not going to get everything right at once,
Hey, I just saw Austin's question, too, on Satsuma.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Yes, there will be, because like Chuck Hobbs, who comments a lot, my good buddy old Chuckles, he's coming down to pull, and they're running NAs. I need to look at my list. It's off on the other desk, but we can let people know. But
the
there'll be non-NTPA.
The NA minis are mid-Florida classes, but they are going to have the regular Region 6 mini rods there. So there's 4 classes, and they will all qualify for the Enderley pull-off at the end of the season, because with 3 hooks down there, they've got Ocala and this event, and then they have the one in around Easter in Clay County, Florida, right below Jacksonville. So they will have a qualifier for the Enderley pull-off.
Perfect. Yeah, it's exciting times. Again, that's something that's brand new down there. We're hoping to get people. Marcus told me, he says, in Florida there, it's not like Midwest where everybody understands what tractor pulling is. So we need to do a good job of letting people know what exactly it is and get people, that are interested, get the most iron we can down there. So
you'd be surprised at how many people in rural Florida do know what tractor pulling is. Somebody, look, the new camera. Chris Wood thinks I'm looking good. I don't know how his eyesight is, but they do have cataract surgery available if you go get them fixed.
All right. So Ryan, I got a big day of selling Coltrane tomorrow. So I want to go to bed, get my beauty sleep. I've been up since 3 a.m. Eastern.
God knows you need it.
Do the math. Clint, say something. We're gonna go around the screen here, and everybody's get final statements. Tucker, you go first. Closing prayer.
All right.
Clint, Tucker, you start.
Thanks to everybody for all their help. Great crew. Great event. Thanks to all the guys that made it. And looking forward to 2025, probably back in the same place. So that's all I can say.
Then let us, when you know the date, Tucker, you know what to do. So.
Yep, I'll do her.
Okay. Matt Hart, closing prayer.
Yeah, closing prayer. We just want to pray for everybody that's out there listening. Clint, great show. I was out there for a little bit, so that was great. Super excited just for spring's coming. I know it doesn't feel like it today, but every day we get through this is another day closer to 30 degrees plus. So we're going to get to pulling season outdoor again soon, folks. So come down to Florida. Come see us.
Yep.
Michael, closing prayer from you, sir.
Shut your mouth about spring's coming. They don't give us rain days, but they give us snow days. Hey, I'm gonna ask all our viewers and everyone on this discussion board a question. This is something I've been chewing on. Don't answer it tonight. Come back later and tell us what you think. But I'm arriving at a conclusion in pulling, and I think that this could be nothing, or it could be something. It could be controversial. So what I heard from Matt, what I heard from Clint, what I heard from everybody is how quick and how smooth the pull in Shepshewana went this weekend. If you've ever went to Louisville, you know how quick and smooth that pull goes. Legitimately, the pace is very fast. And if you've ever gone to Brandenburg, Kentucky, that's another one that's very, very quick, very, very fast. Now, there's a common denominator in these three pulls. They're all single track pulls where they use a front end loader or telehandler to actually bring the vehicle out and then back it in there. The drivers don't drive themselves out. They don't back in. Is there something to be said about that actually making pulling go faster? Is there something to say? I want to know, could this be something? Because I know some modifieds and other vehicles don't even like starting until they're hooked to the sled anyway. Could there be something in the idea, and go home and chew on this with your buddies, could there something to be said for having a loader guy that just wheels you out, backs you in, wheels you off, to make the show go a little bit smoother, a little bit quicker? Is there something there? I don't know. You guys as pulling fans, think about it.
I've done it outside at Brad Holzheyer's event one time. Storm's coming, and we did it, and that is absolutely 100% accurate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pace as a fan, pace is one of the biggest things out there. I'm not saying that we want to change the world of pulling, not saying we don't want to watch Jim Bosch drive to the 250-foot mark and then back up. I love that stuff. I'm not trying to take that away. It's just interesting that there does seem to be this common denominator.
So I say, if you don't back up as fast as Jeff Burt, we're going to pick you up starting now.
If you watch European pulling, every tractor is picked up on a lift bar that we designed that comes off the track. Every tractor does. Yeah. That's the lift bar design we designed in the quarter goal. Every tractor does in Europe. Yep. They pick them up and take them off.
Michael with the good nugget. I love it. Larry, closing prayer from the Rich Wine Stables.
All I want to do is thank God and Jason Schultz for fine equipment to make me look better, sound better, and basically not act any better. But nevertheless, I hope everybody comes to Florida or watches them on Beer Money streaming, whatever that thing is.
TV, Larry.
Whatever it is, my password that I was given for like diesels and dark corners no longer works. Anyway.
Oh,
I'm just saying. And I hope my Coltrane energy drink comes in a UPS shipment or whatever it comes, whether it's Federal Express soon. And I promise, if I have enough quantity, I'll never be on the air again without a Coltrane energy drink in my hand.
And not only that, Larry will sell you the seat, but you only need the edge.
That's right. When you come to one of our shows, you pay for the whole seat, but you only use the edge.
Awesome. Closing prayer, 12,000 farm stock. Champion, friend of, you're a friend. Would you admit it on air that you're my friend too?
Yeah, I'm your friend, Schultz.
Oh God,
I'm your friend.
I don't have any beer in front of him anymore.
I don't have.
Did everyone see the $50 bill pass out of Jason's hand over from Schultz's hand there really quick? I saw that exchange.
It's supposed to look like he slid him a note, but it was a $50 note.
I gotta go back, Tucker. What did you have to say to Schultz when he was announced 10 years ago? Remember what he said when I come on the line in the finals 10 years ago?
Oh God, I got a lot of emails over that.
I want to hear it. What was it?
You can see. He goes, "Don't be a pussy.
Don't drive it like a pussy." He's announcer, and he says, "I'm getting backed into the smoke tube," and you can hear Schultz. Of all things, I'm kind of zoned in, but I hear Schultz say that over the announcers thing.
I got the emails.
And he says I get away with stuff, but right there's an
No,
example.
seriously, Larry. Honest to God, I haven't been around the NTPA like you have your whole until these last couple years. Well, honestly, this last year with Full Pull, I'd never really been to all the Grand Nationals to spend in Tacoma. And I listened to you when Buckner, Missouri got rained out. I bought the NTPA license sandwich, and I listened to you on the way home in my car.
I was at Sandwich, yeah.
Yeah. And you said stuff I've always wanted to say over the microphone. If I used to say that stuff, and I felt like the most stressful day for me always after the Midwest Winter Nationals was poor Clint having to field all those phone calls and text messages and emails and watch him pull off.com of all the improper things I said. That one year, I called that guy a cheap prick over the microphone because we were bidding money up on the beer carriers. I said, "Come on, you cheap prick!" Oh, there's still a guy in Northeast Iowa and somewhere down in Missouri because I have the right people.
Exactly who he is.
What's that?
I know exactly who he is because I dug through the pulloff.com archives and them boys helped me out. And we've had a personal conversation. And it didn't work out. But I tell you what, I love Larry to death. But if you really would have enjoyed the announcing that the sandwich, it was whenever him and Art Downs announced together when we had mini rods there in the NTPA days with the stud monkey, that was epic. And that's back whenever a broke guy like me could sit there and put his tripod up and video it. It wasn't no live stream. And that was Larry, you and Art were a fantastic combination.
Well, you know,
especially later tonight, whenever Art maybe give you a little bit of that lemonade.
Well, no, I didn't drink any of Art's lemonade.
You just breathing the fumes.
Oh my God. Tom Min gave me some of his lemonade one time at Mount Sterling. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. Anyway, but no, the stud monkey was a mini rod. We had a lot of fun with the stud monkey.
It was great because the sandwich track wasn't quite what it is right now. I mean, your hot struggled, and there was a lot of disasters there, wasn't there, Larry?
Yeah, the track today is heads and tails different than it was in those days. But yeah, Art and I had a lot of fun, and Art had his special lemonade. And the longer the show went, the more Art talked. Yeah, but he was fun to work with. Yeah.
That was great times. Great times.
And nobody died. We lived through it.
Yeah, nobody died. No social media, no email, no bad emails back to the NTPA office.
But you know, the NTPA office did get some calls. One morning on a Tuesday morning, Mr. Schreier said, "Larry, I need to speak to you." I says, "What about?" He goes, "What did you say last weekend?" I went, "Hell, I don't know." And I don't know. It just rolls out of me, you know. But the entire WPI board got letters. They didn't realize I was on the board too, so I got a copy of it. So I knew who was complaining, but nevertheless, it was an interesting time, Clint. It's the best way to say it.
Well, you know, the Sandwich Fair is a great fair, but it's awful close to a Democratic town.
Yes. But I promise, if given a supply, you'll never see me drink a Diet Coke on Let's Grow Pulling.
Right.
We're gonna hook you up. No, seriously, if for future announcers that want to be announcers, don't announce to your friends, honest to God. And don't drink when you announce. Okay, so those are the two things I learned over the years.
He's still laughing.
Tucker.
He's still.
That's the most fun Clint's had all week. Yeah.
No, but that's what honestly, guys. I used to sit up there and try to make my friends laugh, like Kleppe, and I would, a little shock jock thing, and then I would drink. I don't have a filter when I'm sober, as you all know. The people that really know me.
We're aware of that.
I have a little bit of booze, it's on. And Gordyville, I got to announce with Butch Krieger, and some old boy brought us some shine. And I just thought Butch Krieger was an angel. And he goes, "You're not going to share that with me?" And I'm like, "Oh my God." And we drank a bottle of lemonade that day. I've never had that much. I'm like, I'm getting hammered announcing a tractor pull with Butch Krieger. This is
yes.
And that was but that's when I might say things like, "Kleppe, don't be a pussy." I think I said some inappropriate things to James Geezy over the years as well. I say here, cheap prick. And then, so finally, Clint said, "Jason, we love having you. We love having your energy, but let's just tone down those extra things." And I got it. I get it over the years. And I'm 48 now.
a couple of the ladies that sent me, violent emails. I was like, he said it like almost 1:30 in the morning. Why do you have your kids still there? Maybe you need to do some parenting. That was great too. I got your back, buddy.
I know you did. No, you were the
Jason,
first one to bring me out of Wisconsin. You and Wiggle to get me out. I did Badger State was kind of my premier association, and I got that because Stacy and John, you guys have all heard that story. And then I got to do Mound City, and then I called Travis Doman a peckerhead over that. And then John Mears asked me not to do that anymore either. But he threw an empty through the announcer stand.
The entire place was potentially gay.
We got broad shoulders.
That was the same year.
I told
We
him
got broad shoulders.
That was the same year.
That's why I always, when Jason says, I love it, I love you, man, and that's why I always qualify it with no homo. I mean, too many gay comments.
I don't think I said you're potentially gay. I just said I was worried about you, Geezy, because you had a pulling tractor and you're not terribly ugly. And I thought you should have a girl. That's maybe I might have said.
This guy's got a pulling tractor. How's he not just drowning?
That's this is what makes pulling great.
We all in the same year too, Clint.
I guarantee.
This is what makes pulling mildly offensive and teetering on the edge. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Did you say your final prayer?
I just want to thank Clint for everything this last weekend, all of his crew. I mean, with all the weather that was down there and everything going on, I mean, I think it was probably one of the smoothest shows to date. I mean, I don't think I heard anybody complaining in the back. Everything went smooth. I mean, couldn't ask for anything better. And I thank everybody, all of you guys do for pulling. I mean, it's great. I don't think pulling's ever been in a better place, to be honest with you.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. And I'm glad that people are pointing that out and saying that. That's awesome.
So,
Well, some of the ideas we have, they like to be controversial. And this fall was between the Lightland and Supers and the farm stock class. There's a lot of negative phone calls, but thank God my wife let me sit out here in her garage and watch my TVs and deal with it. And it's working. It's all working, and we'll keep trying. As long as I still got breath, I'll keep trying harder.
you always know it's going to be a good phone call at 9 o'clock, Clint, when you call me.
Yeah. And guys, if Clint Tucker ever calls you after 9, if you don't have 2 hours available, do not answer the phone. I'm just
Right. Yeah, there's something on my mind, and I want to get out of it.
He wants to get it out. So, Ryan, closing prayers from the Coltrane camp.
Just happy for the 2023 year. It's been a blast traveling around with all y'all. We went everywhere from Texas to Wisconsin and everywhere in between.
You almost hit a cow with the RV in Wisconsin.
Almost hit a cow with the RV.
Larry had said free range cows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
Wisconsin really treated us good. Like we only had 2 shows all year that we sold the entire trailer out. That was Hillsboro and Macville.
Yep.
We sold everything we had in the trailer, which was awesome. I mean, Wisconsin really comes out every event that we've been. But no, we're looking forward to another good year. We're going to do something similar we did last year. So we're pretty excited for all the events that we got on schedule already. But, me and my wife, we come to as many as we can. We can't make it to every one of them, obviously, but we try to come to as many as we can. And it's blast. We're going to try to be at the farm show with Jason.
You're not trying. You're going.
Oh, we are going to be.
Booth 3194,
Yeah.
Kenzie.
Yeah. So
There might be a new tractor unveiled there.
we're going to be at the Western Farm Show too in Kansas City.
Yeah.
So
We're trying to come to that with you too.
Hey, Jason, if your tractor doesn't get accepted to compete in Louisville, is it still welcome to exhibit?
It's going to be exhibited, Larry. I'll let the cat out.
So will you be signing autographs or?
Well, I'm hoping that you could probably stop by the booth, Larry. We're going to have the Larry Richwine hour once a day. I haven't told you this yet. But,
Well, all right. I'm available.
Mike's
At
in
this-
the
boy.
At this point, what could possibly go wrong, Jason?
No, we're at booth
Exactly.
3194. We're going to have our merchandise. The new look of the new minor diesel super is going to have its new wrap. We're going to unveil it at Louisville. We didn't get into the show. I respect the process, but we still want to. Louisville is a big stage, so we bought some booth space and we're going to roll it out. We're also going to have a media center there. Michael's working on lining up interviews. We're going to do an hour, a live every hour. We're working with the social media team down there at the fair on helping them with stuff as well, and we're excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, but no, I'm excited. Thank you. I want to help. I want to help sponsors that help. So we're hopefully going to have some good success up here in Wisconsin and Iowa the next couple of days. Meet with distributors. Please, if any of you are watching tonight, you have a friend who works at a distributor. Please let us know. Send a message to the Facebook page, and we'll knock it out. Right to Coltrane, say call so and so at so and so. Here's his or her email. Here's his or her phone number, and Ryan or Abby will reach up to them. They just need a cold lead or a warm lead, you guys. If you're in sales, you know what that means. Hey, somebody told me to call you. You know, Larry Richwine, or if Tucker gets you into that place in Illinois, that Tucker. Oh yeah. You know, that's what it knocks the edge off.
It does. It makes just a little bit. You know, as opposed to like a cold call or something, like they don't know me from Adam. You know, it makes a big difference. It does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so any support that the bowling community can will help us out is a huge help, and you know we put that money back into the various associations that we can. So
we appreciate that.
We've done the Outlaws, and they've treated us great, and also the PPL, and we do the Missouri State Series as well. Maybe eventually, if we continue to grow, we can do more of the regional series, such as the Badger State and other places like that. But because Wisconsin's always treated us really good.
Look at Larry. Is that your PPL stocking hat, Larry?
No, please hold. I don't like the headphones anyway, but that's okay. But no, please hold for a proper attire for this time of year. Oh my. Oh look. Oh wow. It's Larry with the PPL hat on. It's crooked. It's crooked as hell. Wrong way. Okay. This is the part. This is the part. This is not the part that Jonathan and Christy hired me for. Okay. They hired me. This is not the part. I'm just saying, man.
Larry, we love you no matter what hat you have on. Don't worry about it.
You know, life is too short. I learned that 11 years ago when Linda survived breast cancer. And all I got to say is if I can't smile, laugh, or have fun each day, the good Lord can take me now. I'm serious.
Exactly.
Who else calls us stocking hat a toboggan? I've never heard that until Jeremy from North Carolina. He kept saying, do you have any of those toboggans? Because we used to have beer money stocking hats.
Well, this is the beanie. Now, a toboggan would have like folds up. In Indiana. This is actually a beanie.
I'm surprised there's a beanie big enough.
Doesn't roll up.
So.
Yeah, we don't call them stocking hats. That's not what I say down here. Ryan, is that what you say? Do you call it a stocking hat, or do you call it the same thing?
That's what I would call it. Yeah, a lot of people.
No, we call it a stocking cap. I always heard it called a stocking cap. Never heard it called a stocking hat.
All I call it's frigging warm compared to anything else this time of year.
We're working on that, Ron. We're working on that.
We should be. That's
well, yeah, no. So we'll talk about that. That's an independent event.
Jason tried to go to bed 15 minutes ago, guys.
Yeah.
I think it was 20, but we still got him. Look at him go.
You know what?
He gave a final prayer.
He keeps saying, "Oh, I love it, man. I love you guys. You know, keep talking. You know, all I know is if you get Jason to actually say, I'm out of here and leave, you've done something."
All right. On behalf of Larry Richwine, Mike Idle, Matt Hart, Jason Kleppe, Ryan Loganbill, Clint Tucker, thanks for watching tonight. We appreciate you. Next time you'll see, we're here every Monday night at 8 o'clock. You're going to see Matt. You're going to listen to Matt. And February 2nd and 3rd in Satsuma, Florida. You can watch at beermoneypulling.tv. You can come in person. And then we're going to unveil the new look of my diesel Superstock in Louisville, booth 3194 in the West Wing, right outside of Freedom Hall. The new merchandise will be there. Coltrane New merchandise.
It'll be the new Moo merchandise from Jason Schultz.
So, Kenzie, wrap it up. Hit the video. Good night, everyone.